Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 11 of the Next Generation of Superstars, the Burst podcast. We are grateful to have Isaiah Wooden, who was wide receiver at Southern Utah University. Originally born in San Diego, California, he plays wide receiver and is leading the team in receiving yards. Welcome to the show, Isaiah.
Hey, how you doing?
I appreciate you for being on here. So kind of tell us a little bit more about your story and how you kind of got involved football at an early age.
So yeah, it all started. I actually was a basketball player first, so I played basketball growing up, loved it. Finally got to play football when I was 6 years old, and then from the time I touched the ball, it was in my hands. It was just like, yeah, this kid's pretty good. So I just continued to do it. My dad has been a big inspiration for me because ever since I was a kid, it always was go to the field, get the work in. He'll throw the ball to me. I remember the days that I used to have like my helmet, shoulder pads, and stuff. Like when we first get the gear, and we'll go there. I put on the shoulder pads, the helmet, and then I'm like running. Do I look fast? Do I look fast? Like, all types of things like that. And so it was just, yeah, it just everything just took off though. And once I really understood the logistics and everything that goes into the game, it was just like, okay, I could see myself doing this for sure.
Right. And that's incredible. And like you said, your dad's, it was a huge inspiration for you. What about the rest of your family and friends? When they saw you kind of growing throughout the sport in your youth, did they support you in everything you were doing and really trying to level up your game?
Oh, definitely. My mom as well. My mom, she's always been a big fan of mine. Like she always at all the games. Like even if she's just getting there, she's like pulling up right when the game starts. She like, I make sure that I look at her first, because it's like that's mom's, man. That's mom's right there. So like she's always been a big inspiration for me as well, and continue to let me know that like, I can continue to do anything that I want as long as I put my all into it. I can be great at it. So that's been a big thing. My brothers as well. I have two older brothers. They both play sports, so they set that foundation for me. And like that hard work, like keep going, regardless if it gets like hard. So definitely them, all of my family, immediate family, they've been, there for me through it all. So they help me continue to push.
It's incredible. And what about any of your coaches growing up? Did you have any that were really, good mentors or leaders for you in kind of following their footsteps and how they pushed you to be better?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was, I would say middle school, I had a couple coaches, but like the ones that really stood out to me is when I played seventh and eighth grade. My coach, Coach Ray Peterson, Coach T. And I can't name all of them right now, but like just all those guys that were on that staff with us when I played at Los Toros, it set the mold for me and made me the man that I am today because they gave it to us. It wasn't no sugarcoating anything like that. We were little kids, but they gave it to us, and that's that's something that you need at that age. So I feel like that really molded me into the player that I am today and how I handle things on the field. So definitely them.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome to have that support because it really translates and later into life, as you've seen, now when you're playing at the collegiate level, you can take those lessons you learned from those mentors and coaches and also your teammates. What about you being a wide receiver? Has there been any player, whether it's been an NFL or collegiate player or just maybe anyone that's been retired, that you really look up to as a football idol or you want to model your game after?
Well, I'll give you one that I look up to as a football idol is like my best friend. My best friend, Isaac Taylor Stewart. He plays for actually the Dallas Cowboys. So, I look up to him a lot. That's like older bro for me. He only like a year older than me, but I look up to him a lot because, we've been through similar things and through it all, he's always stuck by my side. He was always let me know that, keep working, bro, keep working. You see what I did, you can do the same thing. He's always gave me that type of, motivation to continue to push forward. As far as people playing, back then that's probably retired, I would say Devin Hester. I love Devin Hester's game, and the reason why is because I try to mold myself into being a kick returner, a punt returner, two wide receiver as well. But I know that my next level, I'm gonna be able to play kick return and punt return. That's gonna be my bread and butter. So I look up to him a lot because of things that he did, and he was just a historic player, like one in a generation. So
yeah, that's awesome. And to be able to have that, relationship and to be able to look up to other guys that we've seen on the field is awesome to be, because it helps you pave your own path in your own unique way. And I think that's just great to be able to do that. Has there been any memorable moments, whether it's been in the past year or in the past few years, that you really look back and say that you're grateful to have had that experience on the field?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm
The
sure there's anything
last
that really sticks out to you in particular.
Yeah, so I would have to say my first game coming to Southern Utah. I came from Kent State University. I played there a little bit, not as much as I wanted to. I don't really feel like I got the opportunity that I felt I deserved there, but that's in the past. But it was a lot of things that happened there. My wife and I, we had a child at the time, but it ended in a miscarriage. So, it was a lot of things going on from there that I had to deal with. And, finding another team was like, it's like another big thing. So I'm like, okay, so man, I'm coming into the season like everything has to be perfect, everything has to be like this, like that. And it was the first game that I played here. I went crazy. I had like 2 touchdowns, 140 something yards, and like I really like the second touchdown that I got, I really dedicated it to like my son. I like rocked it, and that's
Yep.
just mind blowing for me. It's mind blowing because it's like I finally did what I wanted to do, and now it's just time to elevate from there. So that was the
Yep.
biggest moment in my life so far.
That's awesome. And I'm sorry to hear about the miscarriage, but to be able to have that moment is truly, special and incredible.
Mm.
What about, kind of talking to the youth that looks up to you? Is there any key that you would say right off the top of your head that you believe is the key to success in sports, or just maybe in anything that you've done so far in your career? What would you say to tell the youth, or maybe a younger version of yourself, if you were to go back and do it over?
Tough times make tough people. That's one that I would definitely
Love it.
tell, the youth or myself, because it's a lot of things that you may go through in your life, but you have to go through those, tough times for you to excel and elevate. I have a lot of tattoos, and I actually have one on my right here that says EOAN, and that's my acronym for elevate overall negativity. So I feel just like elevating overall negativity is something that we all have to do regardless if you play sports or not. In the real world, whatever the case is, by you carrying yourself as a person that's determined, a person that is, hungry for success, you will succeed. And I feel like that's been me my whole life. And preparation is key as well. Make sure that you prepare to the for when that that moment comes, you can be able to overcome any type of fear or anything that's going on within that moment. So
That's awesome. And you said elevate overall negativity. I love that. You could even turn that into a clothing brand. I think that's something that really resonates. And I've heard a lot of different sayings, but that one particular, it's awesome. It really speaks the truth, because if you can really keep that positive mentality, it can really go a long way. And I think you've seen that and be able to experience that, which is great. Speaking more about, you given that key to success, going through those tough times. What about the community, even your community back home in San Diego? Is there anything that you're doing right now, or you want to be doing in this year of 2023 to really give back to those that look up to you, and really the youth that needs help? Is there anything in particular that you're looking to do to help the community?
yeah, definitely. So back home, it's a lot. It's like a melting pot. So you got a lot of different people, inner city, whether they're where I'm at or whether they're up north a little bit. We go by county. So you got North County, you got East County, you got South Bay. I just want to be able to give back. Even this year, I want to be able to give back or let them know that, even if I'm not there, let them know that anything is possible. You see me, I'm from the same place you're from. Just keep working, just keep pushing. That's what I want to do. I just want to motivate kids, and eventually, once I have the funds and everything like that, I would love to come back home and run a camp uh, for anybody, for all the kids to come out and just enjoy and bring some of my friends with me. Isaac Taylor Stewart, Chris Olave, Devin Lloyd, those guys that's already on that next level. I love to bring all of them back and just showcase what we've done, and just build the city up from there. And also here in Cedar City, it's a great community. I love the people. They welcome me and my wife with open arms. So I'll just love to give back to them, whether it's, a toy drive, whether it's just, feeding people or
Right.
just helping them, just talking to them, just talking through things or whatever they're going through. Just being able to be that, that light, shine that light.
Yep. Yeah, and then we would love, at first we'd love to be part of that. We definitely want to be doing that with all of our athletes that wanted to do stuff, whether it's holding events or giving back to the youth. You saw with our virtual stocks opportunity, you're able to donate to charity. We want to be
Mhm.
able to do those events in person, because you can really have that experience, right? That's very memorable and impactful to the youth that's there and part of it. Kind of switching a little bit into, and I think all you said is awesome about that, but switching a little bit into more of your routine at Southern Utah, and especially being in season, what does that routine look like for you as a student athlete? And how do you really, get your mind, body, and everything, ready in the right mindset to go and attack, your season?
It's all about time management. So making sure that each and every part of your day is planned out to the exact time, to exact place you need to be at, what
Right.
time you need to leave. So that's the main thing that I've came to realize once I've got to Southern Utah. Uh, it was at Kent, it was more, put together. And it was like, okay, they had it for you to go here, go there, go there. And I was at FBS. So that's the thing, that it was kind of more, you were more taken care of. So here we're taken care of well, but it's like it's a couple different things that you have to do on your own. So I learned that, okay, well, if I need to be here, I need to do it like this. If I need to talk to them, I need to go talk to them right now. If I don't know their number, I have to go online, and find their number and stuff like that. And that was it all throughout the season, just getting up, getting your breakfast in, making sure that you stretch, making sure that you meditate to keep your mind right,
Yeah.
and just going out and attacking the day. And once you attack the day, you feel so good when you come back home. And I just always had the same routine, I just like go out, work out, come back home, take a bath, stretch, eat, go to bed, and then just wake up and do it again. And once I had that down, it was like, okay, everything is it's easier. And then school, I've always been a great student, so it's not really um, a challenge for me with school. It's just more so just you know, like I said, finding the time, making everything planned out to a specific time, so you could go ahead and complete all your assignments.
I love it. I love it. And what about what other skills besides the time management and really taking care of your schedule and being, proactive on that? Has there been any other skills, whether it might be leadership or communication, that you've learned, whether it's been at Kent State or now Southern Utah, that's really helped you, and even off the field, as just an individual? Has there been anything in particular with skills?
Yeah, leadership. Leadership has been one. I haven't really been in too many positions to be a leader because it's either I came into a place that had leaders already, or everything was set in stone. So coming to Southern Utah, it actually helped me open up more as a leader. I'm already a communication studies major, so I love to talk to people. I love to express how I'm feeling, or talk about different ideas that could probably help in the future. So coming here, it actually helped me. It allowed me to open up that realm, to be a leader, talk to people, have people follow me, and that felt good. And it's like something that I'm carrying now, and I'm getting better at. So leadership is a big thing. It's something that'll take you beyond what you would ever think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a huge skill. And to be able to learn that, what you're doing right now, it's going to be able to apply to all different aspects of your life, even after football. And now you're, we'll talk a little bit right now about you're living in a huge moment in history with the NIL that's been legitimized. What were your initial thoughts when you saw that in the summer of 2021? What were your initial thoughts when you saw the NIL being passed, and allow student athletes like yourself to actually go out there and find brands to actually monetize and really get your personal brand out there?
Man, from the jump when I seen it, I was like, okay, this seems like something that that gives us opportunity to showcase our skills and allow us to actually get compensated for the things that we do. And it seemed pretty cool, but at the time it was we didn't know too much about it. And as time has gone, we're learning more, and it's getting better. Like the opportunity with Virtual Stacks, Burst Sports, and Web3, and all these different types of opportunities coming into. It's like, this is nice. I love it. I loved it from the get go. And now it's just like, now we're learning more information about it. It's just the best thing. And it's only going to take off from there. Even with us just being collegiate athletes, I see there's high school athletes starting to get onto it. We
Yeah.
already have where it's professional athletes are on it, so it's trickling down to where it's a lot of people, a lot more different sports, a lot of more different categories, and it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to the sports world so far. So, and I can't wait for it to continue to grow.
Yeah, it's a great perspective. It was a long time coming. Even growing up when I was playing sports, was always looking for that moment to happen, and it has. And you touched a little bit about what Burst is doing in Web3. What are your thoughts so far in our first opportunity with our partner Virtual Stacks? You saw the most results and income from the initial launch. What were your thoughts when you saw that? And that was only a week span, and that's just the beginning of the first step of everything that we're doing with that partner, Virtual Stacks, and our other partners, Loot Mogul, and other ones we're putting together. What was your initial thoughts on and everything when you saw that happen?
It was a blessing because I finally had, the chance to show people exactly what I do. There's not too many people that knew of me. It's not too many people that knew I even played football, all over the world. I mean, obviously they know that I do at, in my hometown and at the other schools that I've been at. But for me to showcase my talents and everything that I do on the field to thousands of millions of people, all over the world, not even just the country, but all over the world, it was something that was like mind blowing. Can't even put it in words because it was something that I never thought could happen at this time. I've always wanted it, I've always dreamed of it, but the fact that it actually happened at this time, it was like, okay, like wow, it's just like mind blowing. And then talking to, all the people, like the CEOs of it and everything like that, when you guys were putting it together and just seeing how it just all unfolded, it was just like, yeah, this thing is gonna go big. It's gonna go very, very far. I can't wait.
I love it. And no, and that's a great way to put it. It's something that's, not expected at that time, but when it does happen and you're seeing that this can actually be a reality, and that was our whole vision when we started Burst a little over a year ago, was that we see what's going on in Web3 and we see what's going on in NIL. We want to bridge the gap between the digital and physical world and really help athletes like yourself get your brand out there, connect more with your fans, and generate multiple revenue streams, because doing those three things is going to elevate your brand on and off the field, and really turn you into that athlete entrepreneur that everyone dreams of being. And this is really a reality that's happening.
Yeah, definitely. It is. And it's just crazy seeing all these different like opportunities. And I keep saying that, but like seeing all these different opportunities, because it's not even just good for us, it's good for the people that's coming up. Some of them, like, they come from different places, different backgrounds, and they may not have all the funds or all the things to take care of the things that they need. But with these opportunities, it gives them all of the world. It gives them all the world because it allows people to see them, allows people to actually want to help them. Because a lot of people help me, whether they know it or not. A lot of people help me and my wife. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for Virtual Stacks, Burst Sports, Web3, everything. And we can't wait to continue to grow with you guys. So
Absolutely. And that's a big thing that you touched on, is that really leveling the playing field, and there's some brands that maybe aren't trying to do that, but we're focusing on that. We want to level the whole playing field and help every athlete, male and female, from all walks of life, because we know how big NIL is going to get. We know how big the Web3 space is going to get. And we know that we can be at the forefront and tying that all in together. And it's incredible. But switching a little bit into, we'll wrap it up in the next few minutes. What are some hobbies besides football or interests that you share, that you really, you're passionate about? If there's any hobbies that you like to do in your free time.
So I like to play video games. I got a PS5 and I have a Xbox Series S, I believe. I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to make sure that I get the right name for it, but it's the white one. I love playing video games. I'm a big Call of Duty player. I'm not saying that I'm the best, so I don't want anybody thinking that, but I'm pretty good at it. My brothers, like growing up, I used to play video games with my brothers, my dad, and it just always was something to calm me down, just keep me cool, just get my mind off of things. So I love playing video games. I also love making music as well. Make music from time to time. It's been a while, but I love making music, putting it out there because I'm able to express, my feelings and my words and just make it all come together and just throw a cool beat on it, and then just go from there. Yeah.
I love it. Well, it probably helps you, both video games and music. I mean, those two things can really just take your mind off, whether it's academics or football or anything else that's going on in your life. It really can help you just de-stress, and really be in the present and focus on what you're doing instead of a million things that's going on. Especially as you have so much on your plate, you need that time to yourself to be able to do those type of things.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll a couple more questions here. One of the ones right here is, what do you do, when you have a setback, or how do your failures motivate you to get to the next level? I know you talked a little bit earlier about how tough times, create tough people. But what, with failures that you've experienced in your life so far, how have you used those to propel you to really, turn that into a comeback?
So I always live by you gotta fail to succeed. So I really don't see it as failing too much. I just see it as like a lesson learned. I did it this way. I know that's not the right way to do it. I know it's another way that I could do this and not get that result. I could get a different result. You know what I'm saying? So I've always learned that when I went to Kent, it was actually like, the best experience being there because I was able to learn a lot of different things. Although I didn't play as much as I wanted to, I learned a lot from my strength and conditioning coaches. And they always used to preach to us like insanity, insanity. And I always like, what's insanity? And they're like, insanity is like doing the same thing over and over, trying to get different results. And it's like, you're not going to get different results while you're doing the same thing over and over. So I learned consistency and not doing the same thing over and over, but consistency and being good, not occasionally great. So I live by that. Always carry that with me. And when times get hard and things aren't going my way, I try to reframe back to that. It's always something else that you could do to get a different result. Don't do the same thing.
It's a great way to put it, and it's really it's so true, right? And I think that's what can really inspire a lot of people looking up to you as an athlete, is that living by that can really help them when they do experience those failures, because everyone's going to experience that. But it's like what Michael Jordan used to say. He failed over and over and over again, and that's why he's successful. You have to go and put yourself out there, take the risk, and go and put yourself towards the action of doing it. Now, wrapping up here, Isaiah, we appreciate everything you've said so far. What would you say for 3 lessons? It can be any lessons that you live by or that you've experienced that you would give to the youth and everyone watching this episode. What are 3 lessons that have helped you the most in your life so far?
I would say, even though things get hard, always keep your faith. So that's number one. Always keep your faith. Never stray away from that, because at the end of the day, when you don't have anybody else, you always have God. So he's always there. You always have God. I would say block out. The next one I would say block out any outside noise, because it could be the best outside noise. People could be saying you're the best player ever. Things like that. It could really throw people off, and it could lead down to bad things happening. And I would say like you just getting too big headed, or you just like, okay, I could do anything that I want, and nobody wants any type of person like that on their team or in their business or working for them. So blocking out the outside noise. And what's the third one? I've never been asked this before. So this is a good one. I would say the third one is stay true to yourself. Always stay true to yourself, regardless of what's going on, regardless of the things that you feel aren't right. And I'm not talking about like anything violent or anything like that. I'm talking more so of life. Anything that you feel you may not be doing right, but that it's true and dear to you. Just stay true to that. Continue to push, continue to grind, and never let anybody change you. Never let anybody change you. Just stay true to yourself, and continue to just be unique, because everybody's unique. There's no one person the same. Nobody's the same. Everybody has their own walk of life. Everybody has their own way about how they go about things. So stay true to yourself.
Just to recap all of that, you said number 1, always keep your faith. Number 2, block out all the outside noise. And number 3, to always stay true to yourself. All 3 really incredible lessons that I know everyone watching this will definitely appreciate. This is episode number 11. Isaiah Wooden here. We appreciate you being on the show, and make sure to follow him on social media and the rest of his story as he continues to write it this year in 2023.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.